Boy, a lot of people here this morning. Everybody wants their coffee, I guess.
Good morning, message order.
Yeah, can I get a double tea?
What size?
A medium?
Okay.
And can you put 10 sugars in a little bag on the side?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to cut down on my sugar.
Not a problem. So we'll put 2 in for you, and then you can gradually increase to 12 if you need to, right?
Oh, I'll put all 10 in, but I'm cutting back. I was using 12, you know?
All right, not a problem. We can do that for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And that's it? Just the tea today?
Yep.
Okay, $2. Start down. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Well, today I got myself some more tea, and today I'm cutting back on the sugar a little bit. I didn't put near as much in. Still tastes pretty good. It doesn't taste too much different, you know. Not too bad. I didn't really notice two less sugars. Didn't really notice it too much. Anyway, listen, guys. Tesla brought out this new truck, you know, and this new Cybertruck it's called. It's all silver and it's long and sleek. I gotta give it to Tesla. Absolutely amazing new design. It's so far ahead of the normal pickup truck design that we're used to, you know, with the square body on back and the boxy looking front, you know. This thing is so sleek, so aerodynamic, and so much different. It's so much of a change from what we're used to. Careful, put my car in there. I didn't have my brake on good. Anyway, so much of a change from what we're used to. I gotta hand it to Tesla. Gotta award it to him that this is an innovative design, and evidently he's used some sort of windshields on it that are resistant to impact, you know. I guess he thought he had it perfected, these windshields. But the guy, for crying out loud, threw a shot put at the side window. I noticed that the shot put didn't go right through. It shattered the glass, but it didn't go through. It didn't go into the inside of the truck. It kind of fell off on the side and landed on. And then they threw another one at the rear window, and it smashed too, you know. And it was a bit of an embarrassment, I guess, you know. But all things aside, they did hit the side of the panels, the door panels, with a big sledgehammer, and nothing happened. It just made a big tong sound, you know. Didn't make a dent or anything like that. So I suppose these new trucks would be really great if you're parking in a parking lot, you know, and somebody opened their door. It wouldn't have any effect on it at all. And that's an awful thing, you know. If you buy a new vehicle, you go to a parking lot, you park, somebody opens up their door and they put a big scratch in your paint. This thing doesn't have any paint. Anyway, they're not priced that high, really, considering the overall truck market. I mean, $39,000 for a base model. It's not that high of a price for this new truck. And evidently, people have put in like 150 or 160,000 orders already for these trucks. So, I think they might do pretty good. What'll happen is other auto manufacturers will start to have to innovate their designs to keep up with Tesla. Tesla's leading the way with these new design. Everybody wants to get in on the new design, you know. Bitcoin hasn't been doing so good. Needless to say, you guys are aware of that. It hasn't been doing good for a long time, ever since it fell off at 20,000. But what's happening is we're seeing a time progression here. And in that same time progression, we're also seeing the regular financial system itself going into a time progression, moving closer and closer toward the lead-in phase toward hyperinflation. The central banks have passed the point of no return at this point. They can't turn back. They're going to have to keep constantly stimulating the economy by putting more money into the upper end of the financial system. what's happening is they're drawing a separation now between two parts of the financial system, between one side of the financial system that's not receiving the money, and that's Main Street. Looking at the financial system as an overall whole, you've got the part of the economy that supports the economy most, which is the bottom side of the pyramid, which is the larger side, which is Main Street. That's what has to keep an economy healthy. And then you have Wall Street, which is the upper echelon of the economy. And normally, with a really healthy, strong, functioning economy, both sides work together as a unit. There's no separation. What's happening now is there's a separation being drawn between the upper side of the economy, Wall Street, and Main Street. And that separation is growing larger and larger, where they get free money, right? Whereas that's Wall Street gets free money. And whereas Main Street, if they're going to borrow money, they're going to have to pay, like on their credit cards and stuff, exorbitant rates of interest. And so one side of the economy is getting slowly drained and getting poorer and poorer, while the other side gets enriched. And it's creating a separation not just in the economy, but in society as well. And so when I see all these trucks, being sold for Tesla, like I think it's 160,000 orders or whatever, I'm thinking to myself, most of that is coming from the enriched side of the economy. It's not a normal circumstance by any means. And, of course, Wall Street is going to have to keep pumping that money into the higher end of the economy to keep the entire thing from collapsing at this point. And as they do so, you're going to see the cryptocurrencies very slowly spread in their utilization. Now, I know that the price has been shrinking back, but while the price has been shrinking back, what we've been seeing is growth within the overall cryptocurrency industry. And so what that's going to lead to ultimately is, as it grows out and expands and people get more used to it as a way to transact, a way to store money, a way to store value, it gets more accepted. See, I remember the early days of cryptocurrency, back when it was not accepted at all. And, back when cryptocurrency was $20,000, it was not accepted as much as it is now at $7,000 or $8,000. It's hard to explain, but what's actually going to happen in the end of all this is we're going to go into another big boom, another big pulse up in the price of cryptocurrency. It's a ways out. Trying to see how far in the future that is difficult. But what's happening now is, with these little bearish pulses into the cryptocurrency market, it's creating buying opportunities for later when it goes way up in price. And so a smart investor will not get scared and back out of cryptocurrencies and dump his holdings, right? What he'll do is he'll ride out this storm until it's finished and the price starts to go back up again. This is, I want to show you guys. I got a good view. I come up here to get a good view, a really good view of the elephant. There's the elephant, and we're going to zoom in. Take a good look at him. He's up on the hill. Now, they're working up in here right now. They're doing, I don't know what they're doing. They're running a bulldozer, and they're kind of fixing things. They got big heaps of earth and whatever, Anyway, I forgot to zoom this thing back last time. There we go. Okay. Now we're all set. Shift the camera around. There. So this is what we're seeing in the cryptocurrency market. You got to be patient, guys. It's going to take off again at some point in the future. Now, how far out that is, I don't think it's all that far away. I think what's going to happen is after the first of the new year, I think we're going to make it through Christmas with the stock market. But I think after the first of the new year, we're going to get a turnover in the market. The market's going to fall. I think it's going to fall several thousand points. And I think this is going to really force the Fed and the world central banks, because I don't think it's just going to be the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 and stuff. I think it's going to be the Asian markets, and all of the world's markets are going to fall simultaneously. It's probably going to be news from China that's going to cause it. After that occurs, the world central banks are going to step in to support these markets in a much greater way. Now, the U.S. Central Bank still has over 1 basis point that they can drop interest rates. And that's a big tool. That'll, I think, and that's probably why they're not dropping interest rates anymore. They want to save that. They know the market's going to roll over. They want to save that for when the market rolls over. They'll drop them down to 0 when the market rolls over, early in the year. Then what'll happen is then they'll put huge amounts of stimulus into the system to prop the markets back up. That's going to create the lead-in to hyperinflation. That lead-in period can last quite a long time, and it's not hyperinflation. It's an acceleration phase of leading into hyperinflation, where the dollar and all of the assets that are connected to the dollar are going to, all of the fiat currencies connected to the dollar are going to start to lose their purchasing power. Probably at first, they say we have 2% inflation, or roughly thereabouts, more or less. We're probably going to see 10% inflation, and in that lead-in period, and that's probably going to increase. The second year of the lead-in period, probably going to move it up, a notch or two, maybe 20, 30, 40% inflation. And inflation's going to run away. There's going to be no stopping it, because inflation, the more money they try to stimulate the economy, the more inflation you get. And so it's like trying to put out a grease fire with water. It just basically, it just grows when you try to put money into a inflationary scenario. So anyway, guys, hope you guys are going to have a great Christmas this year. I think, personally, everything's going to run smooth right through the Christmas season into the new year, and then I think we're going to run into the big problems, because the GDP numbers from this quarter that we're in right now is going to come in from China, and that's not going to happen until after New Year's is over, and when this new economic data comes in from China, I think it's going to be absolutely abysmal. They're undergoing a massive slowdown. The Chinese are trying to cover this up, the slowdown. They're trying to cover it up by saying it's a trade war causing it. Using the trade war as an excuse. And this is another reason why they're not likely to make a deal anytime soon, because then they lose their excuse for why the Chinese economy is really slowing down, and they might take blame for their policies as slowing down the Chinese. They don't want to ever take blame. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to this show. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys in the very next episode. Bye-bye. Oh, and have a nice day.